Right, so in today's video we're going to take a closer look at that Horizon Balancing and HorizonSteady on the newly released DJI Osmo Action 6. So if you're new to the HorizonSteady and Horizon Balancing on the DJI products, I'll just explain the difference between the two so you don't mix them up there. So Horizon Balancing is where you can't exceed 45 degrees with the action camera, because if you do the screen will start rotating. So always keep it underneath 45 degrees and the screen's going to stay level just like you're seeing right now. And then that HorizonSteady is where you'll be able to flip the action camera 360 degrees and the screen's going to stay absolutely level just like you're seeing right now. So like I always do on this channel, I'm going to thoroughly test both of those modes out there, that Horizon Balancing and HorizonSteady. First of all, I'll either be in a seated area or standing in front of the camera, and then I'll start playing with that 45 degrees there, just keeping it under, and then I'll just go over there around 50 degrees just to see if it really works there. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the HorizonSteady, really concentrating on turning it around as smoothly as I can, and then you'll see that on screen there what the Action 6 is viewing, so you can really see it working there. And then I'm going to step it up a notch there to really test it. I'll put the Action 6 on the chest harness, and with this chest harness I can angle it. So I'll angle the action camera so it's around this angle, just underneath the 45 degree. I'll film it as I'm walking to really test out the overall stability as well as that Horizon Balancing there. And then with the HorizonSteady, I'm going to need to dislocate my shoulder or something here because it's going to be pretty tricky to do. I'll have the camera in one hand filming it as I'm walking, really testing out the stability there. But I've also got to be walking whilst rotating it 360 degrees. So it's going to be quite a different angle as I'm doing that. So bear with me there, I'm going to do the best I can there. So now I'm just going to find a suitable area to start the tests. Here we go. Right, so now I've come to this sorry looking bench on its own there. It's a bit rotten, isn't it? And wet through, great. But I've come to this bench because I really want to test out the 45 degree lock and the 360 degree lock whilst in a static position before I start walking. That way we can really analyse just hitting that 45 degree lock and start seeing that rotation, and then seeing how stable it is when I flip the camera around, because on previous tests when I do that and really concentrate keeping it straight and true there, the screen does wobble on the earlier models, so just keep your eye out for that later on. Right, just before I start the video I'm just going to show you how to locate both of those modes. So it'll be in normal video mode right there, and then you'll just swipe up from the bottom, and in the top right there you'll hit that icon, and on the left there you're going to see your stabilisation modes, Rocksteady, Rocksteady Plus, and there underneath that you'll see Horizon Balancing and HorizonSteady. But you can only have standard D-Warp in both of those modes, but you'll have Rocksteady enabled, so you'll have great stability whilst in those two modes. Right, so first of all we're going to have a look at that Horizon Balancing. Here we go. Right, so now it's time to sit on this sorry looking bench and it's wet through. Great. Right, so now I've activated Horizon Balancing and I'm in a static position whilst I'm seated. So I don't really want to be moving with this camera just yet. Them tests are going to follow. So I'm going to really concentrate now on keeping it underneath 45 degrees, and I'm filming, so I'll switch over to that screen right now and you'll be able to see what I mean. So as you can see I'm underneath 45 degrees and that screen should stay level. Just same as the other side. And I'll repeat that just a couple more times. So you can see that lake behind the camera, and that'll be level just as I'm underneath the 45 degree mark. And now I'm going to exceed it slightly, just there, and you'll see the screen start to rotate. Once again the other side. And you can see that the screen's rotating there when I exceed that 45 degrees. I'll just do a few more tests. I really like to test this thoroughly. So we'll just keep underneath there at a rapid speed this time. And you can see that that screen's level. So that's really working. And now I'll do it at speed whilst. And now I'm doing it at speed, and you can see that screen's rotating as I'm exceeding the 45 degree there. So that works really well. What I'm confused with is DJI released the DJI Osmo Nano, which I own, and that Horizon Balancing is knocked down to if you exceed 30 degrees. Now I don't know why they've done that. If anything, they should have raised the bar, I'd say around 65 degrees. but it's strange because they've lowered it to 30, so you only have to go around here and then the screen starts to shift. So if you're watching DJI, why have you done that? So now you've just viewed that horizon balancing, and it looks like it works on the back of this camera. Yet again, I've not been home and really looked at this on my monitor, but you'll be seeing this version which is edited, so I'm hoping that works and I'm not eating my words there, but it looks to be working on the back of the screen. So now I've just looked at that horizon balancing, let's have a real good look at that HorizonSteady. So with this one you can go 360 degrees and the screen should stay level. It's crazy, isn't it? Imagine speaking like that 20 years ago. Like, what planet's he from? Right, so now we're going to take a closer look at the HorizonSteady, and that's why I'm in a seated static position. So I'm really going to try and not make this screen wobble when it does it. Right, so first of all we'll rotate to my right, really slowly. Let's really get that screen level as I'm doing this. Do it one more time, and then I'll go the opposite way. Now I'll go to the left. And one more time. So what did that look like? I should imagine the horizon's level, hopefully, but just keep an eye out if there's any wobble on the screen there. And now I'm going to do it at a rapid pace, turning it round just to see what that looks like. And then the other way. So that's going to be interesting later to view that back, because I was as steady as I could be while seated there. Right, so now I'm done with the static testing on the horizon balancing and HorizonSteady there. Let's attach the Action 6 to the chest harness, and then I'll film the chest harness whilst I'm walking to really test out the overall stability there, and also that, again, that 45-degree angle lock whilst I'm walking. Here we go. Right, so as you can see, I've slightly angled that just under 45 degrees, I've hit record, and now let's start walking. So now you're viewing the footage from the Action 6, and I'm hoping that the screen in front of you is level there, because you can see from the Pocket 3 as I'm filming it, the Action 6 is at an angle there, and I've purposely kept it just under the 45-degree mark. So I'm really hoping that the screen is level here, because I can't see if it is. And now you can see I've angled the Action 6, which has exceeded 45 degrees. I'm holding on to it because if I let go, it's going to fall on the floor. It's a detachable one what rotates, that's why. So as I'm walking here, the screen should now not be level, because I've exceeded the 45-degree mark. So hopefully the screen has shifted and everything's working just as it should. So as I'm walking, I'll just rectify that and put it back to the level position. And now the screen should have gone back to the horizontal level position there. Now this is going to be one of the trickiest things I've done in a while. I've got to film with one hand and rotate this 360 degrees whilst I'm walking. So now we're on HorizonSteady whilst walking. I should imagine there'll be slight wobble in the screen. So let's just try this now. So as I'm walking, we're going to fully rotate this. Oh, just get to 360. This looks strange, doesn't it? And then we'll go the other way. You need a supple wrist, or like I said earlier, a dislocated shoulder. So that's the best I can get it whilst walking. So what does the footage look like? So I'm hoping that horizon's level on this HorizonSteady. And now I've switched back to horizon balancing, and just keep an eye on my elbow here, because I'm going to be just under 45 degrees as I'm vlogging, and you can see that the screen's staying level there as I'm moving as well. Should have put my shades on. That's absolute. This sun this time of year, I tell you. And now I'm going to exceed the 45 degree, just there, and you can see with my elbow that I am doing this, and then the screen starts to rotate. And then once again, if I'm walking there not really taking care, I suppose this would be good for giving a camera to a kid. It's going to be swaying all over the place, especially a really young kid there. Let's just say around 3 or 4. I did it with my lad when he was that age, he just ran off with it. But I didn't activate this, but thinking back if I did, I'd have got smooth footage just like you're seeing right now. And now I've switched back to that HorizonSteady. So obviously I'm not filming it with the Pocket 3 this time. I'm just going to rotate myself all the way around there. And that should look really strange if it's working, as I'm grabbing hold of it, but the screen's staying level. You can hardly get your head around it, can you? And then I go the other way. I think there's going to be slight sway in this. Like I say, I've done tests with this over many years since it were introduced to the cameras on the Insta360 and DJI. And every time I do it, no matter on the static position like being sat down, you do get that slight wobble. So I'm really hoping with this new improved Action 6 that DJI has rectified that. Once again, I could be eating my words because I've not been back and looked at this on the monitor, so I don't know if they've rectified that wobble there. I really hope they have though. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today, and now that you've seen the differences between the Horizon Balancing and HorizonSteady, it's up to you which one you activate there on your videos. Now, it's a funny one because I fully understand the Horizon Balancing, what that would be used for. As you've just seen, a good demonstrations. Let's just say you're doing a hyperlapse there and you want to get that screen really level. It doesn't matter if it's going to slip there, either way underneath 45 degrees. And then the footage is all going to be useful. And then that footage is all going to be useful there, and you'll not have to crop in and straighten that footage up. So that's where the Horizon Balancing is going to come in handy. If you fix it to a chest harness or on your helmet there and it slightly sways left and right, you've got a true Horizon level. And now with that HorizonSteady, I don't really know where I'd use that. I've never used it in all the years I've been doing this, but I know and I've seen on YouTube where they strap it to a plane wing and do barrel rolls, and that footage stays completely level there, and it's really fascinating to see that. And I can only imagine something else like that just off the top of my head. Let's just say a guy straps it to the front of his kayak there and he does some barrel rolls under the water. That's going to look awesome as well because it's going to stay level as he's rotating. Apart from them two things just off the top of my head, I can't really think what you'd use it for. Now maybe I should have researched it more, but just put in the comments what you use it for, or what do you think it could be useful for. 360 degree rotation there on an action camera. Right, so I'm done with these tests now. I've done running around and being very supple with my elbow there. Really tricky to do that way. And you'll notice I've got a wireless mic today whilst vlogging on the Action 6 because it is slightly breezy, as you can see from the tree movement behind me. So we've got a bit of a breeze today now. I think even if I didn't have a breeze, I'd still be on this wireless mic because the onboard microphones, in my opinion, are hypersensitive there. You'll be able to hear my voice if I didn't have this wireless mic on. But it's not pleasant to be really listening to that wind noise over my voice, and you're really struggling to hear me there because it keeps gusting, and that's the worst thing when you're trying to vlog to a camera. So that wind's really strong hitting me now. So I highly recommend, if you've got the Action 6 there, if you're thinking of getting it, just beware, it's hypersensitive to any kind of wind noise. So always, if it is windy or even slightly breezy, always use an external microphone there. And now I'm just going to deactivate the wireless mic for you because I want you to listen to that onboard microphone on the Action 6 to really listen to that wind noise surrounding it. Here we go. So now you're listening to the onboard microphone with the Action 6, and this is the reason why I think you should really have a wireless microphone, because you'll be able to hear that wind noise. I can guarantee you that. It's not really windy, but there's a strong breeze now. And as I rotate round, you should be able to really hear that wind muffling on all the microphones. And now I'll switch back to the external microphone, which is going to be a lot more pleasing to listen to. And now I'll switch back to that external microphone. We've just got the same strong breeze there, and obviously that's going to be a lot more usable than that onboard microphone there. It's funny that why they've done that, DJI. I get it, action cameras should progress throughout the years, but the Action 4, to be fair, is one of the best out there. I mean, the onboard microphone's really good, the overall picture quality is amazing, stability is just the same, Rocksteadies and Rocksteady Pluses. And then the 5 Pro's audio's a little bit better than the 4, but it's a hell of a lot better than the 6, because on this 6, it's just crazy wind noise. Like I say, it's hypersensitive, I think. Right, so I'm finished with the video now, I'm just making my way back to the car. But just to recap on those two modes there, not to confuse them, it's really, I'm going over a waterfall now, so it's a good audio test for the external mic, for that background noise. Anyway, I'll get back to what I was saying. So just to recap and not confuse the two modes against each other there, just remember the Horizon Balancing, you can't exceed 45 degrees, and the HorizonSteady is where you can flip it 360 degrees. And don't forget, whilst you're in those two modes, stabilisation is activated. And I'm saying that to you right now because I got lots of questions when I did it on the Action 5 Pro and the 4. Is stabilisation activated? Stabilisation's activated on both Horizon Balancing and HorizonSteady. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel, as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon, especially with testing out this newly released Action 6. But for now, thanks for watching, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.